name is Petro, and I'm a dentist. I have no artistic background, none. I have had no training. I painted a pillar by trying it out, looking at it, painting over it until I thought I liked it, and was trying to capture in that painting what I thought the artist who did the original was trying to convey. And I was waiting and waiting for the feeling. I selected Starry Night because of my fascination with that piece of art. I've done that painting several times. I have hanging in my home on canvas. And it's just a fun piece to do because you never know how it's really going to turn out and the feeling that you're going to have while you're doing it. So when I had the opportunity to do a pillar, I thought, you know, I'm going to take another crack at it. The only thing is the configuration of the pillar is such that you have to sort of expand on what the original painting looked like because the pillar has an unusual shape to it. And, you know, it's sort of narrow and then widens up at the top. So you sort of have to do a little bit of artistic interpretation of what Van Gogh would have done if he was stuck with this shape. So that was kind of fun too, to see how it was going to turn out. So my motivation was trying to transcribe that particular shape into the pillar. And so that's how it turned out. Every artist has their own feelings about what they're painting. And in my particular painting, I've always been fascinated with Van Gogh's Starry Night. And just recently, I found an internet site that sort of goes into an in-depth explanation, and it is so complex. Vincent van Gogh, in his delirium, painted this and captured what mathematicians have been trying to explain, and that is turbulence. In fact, the German mathematician Heidegger, he said that when he finally meets God, he's going to ask him two questions. One is relativity, and the other one is why turbulence. And he thinks God will be able to answer why relativity, but he said, I don't think there's an answer for turbulence. And so that's what Vincent van Gogh was expressing in his artwork. It has to do with the eye's perception and the mind's interpretation of those swirls. And it gives you the feeling of motion. And it's very complex. So when I saw the video on the internet, I thought, so that's why it's so interesting. Because it truly does stimulate your mind to interpret what you're seeing. It's just a fascinating piece of art. So, you know, as I was painting it, I was waiting for that feeling, and it just never happened. I was just waiting, and I'm painting the swirls, and I'm thinking, okay, am I going to feel it? Am I going to feel it? And, you know, just didn't happen for me yet. I painted that pillar last summer. All the people that drove by that little road that goes in front of the UPMC Cancer Center, every other car stopped, rolled down their window and said thank you. I couldn't believe it. In fact, I was interrupted more than I was painting because people wanted to talk. They would pull over, park their car, get out, come over and talk to me about painting and art, and the very first time they saw that painting and what their feelings were about the painting. And I just couldn't believe the reaction of the general public to something like this. It was an overwhelming thank you from the community to see it all come together like this. I was just so impressed by the community, not what I was doing, but what their thoughts were about what was happening. Art is expression. It's fundamental to a person's existence. Art existed before language. There are cave paintings before modern man was able to communicate with each other. That was the method of communication, was expressing themselves by cave paintings. It's fundamental to our existence to be able to express yourself. Without that, we're not human. You need to express yourself, and that's what art is. It's an avenue of expression that allows you to show your humanity, your feelings, your thoughts. It is the most fundamental to a person of anything of their properties. It's just, art is everything.